Hey, Love Brett, how you doing?
I'm good, Clovis. How you doing?
Pretty great. I'm excited for this podcast, Tea Brews and Data Views. Do you want to go ahead and explain it to our audience?
Yeah. The point of this series is that one of us is gonna find an interesting data set, send it over to the other one. The other one gets a limited time to look at the data set, and then they're gonna have to run through some analysis on this. So the website that we're using for this is gonna be data.gov. I know I had your face kind of small in here, so let me just kind of put you in the corner there. And
Wow, putting baby in the corner, that's rude.
I'm sorry. So we're gonna go to data.gov, and so in this case, data.gov is a place where you can kind of find all these free data sets that the government kind of collects. And you sent me one over that was infectious diseases uh, by county for the state of
In
California.
California.
In California, and we're gonna analyze this data set today. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen so you can actually see my screen, and then I'll run through the analysis that I did, so you can see on here. Let me see. Let me just do one quick setting just so you're still visible to our audience. So I got you in the corner there. You see my screen, Clovis?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay. So this
So
is
I'm super excited to know what analysis you did and how different it is than mine.
yeah.
But you had a much shorter time, so I'm hoping it's a lot worse.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Hopefully. So uh, just to kind of let people know, so we're doing this at Jump 18 right now, and so you might see some things that look a little bit different. And when we got the data set, it has these columns in it. There's disease, county, year, sex, cases, population, the rate of the disease, and the upper and lower confidence intervals for that as well. This particular column I made, and I'll show you why I made that in a second. But one technique of analysis that Jump does really well is called drill down graphs. So I'm going to show you kind of what you can make with that. Um, so this is using Graph Builder, and I have the graph of basically every single county in California. Now, not very exciting, but you can kind of see over here by color, it tells you which counties have a higher rate of disease, and this is looking at all cases, by the way. So not any particular disease case, but just total number of cases. And we can see that this particular county, Kern County, has a high rate because of the color red. And if I hover over it, you'll get this small kind of graph pop up. So if I click on that, it pops open this graph, which shows me which diseases there are in Kern County and which ones are actually of that high rate. And we can
I'm
see
gonna have to pause you there. I Can you pronounce that first word for me?
uh,
That first disease.
it's like Coco Dio Io Mycosis. I'm just gonna call it Coco for short. Um, but
That
but
is a tough word.
yeah, that's a long one. But so Coco is the highest disease in Kern County, followed by Kempe, something else. But I'm interested in Coco, so let's just look at Coco. If I highlight over this now, I get this other graph now. And so now if I click on this, this shows me particularly the county for Kern County and the disease is this particular disease right here. And I'm looking at the total number of cases and how many the male and how many female actually have these cases over the years in Kern County. So this type of graph is called a drill down graph. It's really easy to make. You
Very
basically
very Inception,
inception
kind of
like.
related. A graph within a
Yeah.
graph within a graph. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and
Um,
what was I gonna say? Like LA County, right? Like so that's a big county. You're from there, and if you kind of go to LA County, I think that's San Luis Obispo. Maybe it's below here. I don't know where LA is actually, to be honest. Um, Ventura, I think
almost there.
I'm getting closer. Los Angeles,
Yeah, there you got it.
and so Los Angeles, it's a whole different array of diseases that are having a different rate, and so we can say like like shingleosis. Well, I'm kind of curious at shingleosis and seeing when we can kind of see there's a spike around 2013, and it's kind of going up after that. But you can use drill down graphs for this kind of deep diving in here. So kind of a pretty cool feature in
Yeah,
Jump.
that is really cool. I do have a question. You you did mention that you had to create different county columns. You weren't using the original one. Can you touch base on why you had to do that?
Yeah, so what's it called? In Jump, there's these thing called map files right here, right? And if you there's like this kind of file path you can kind of go to get to that. And if I look at U.S. counties, so I'm just gonna open this file up real quick. You can see the way it's formatted is the name of the county, space, county, comma, the two-letter state acronym. So in this original data set, it just said like Alameda or Los Angeles or so on, and it needed to be in the right format for that map file. So I created this other column right here that was literally just county, comma, California, and then I just concatenated them these two columns to make this third column. And
And was that easy for you to do? Was it a quick thing, or did it take a while? Like,
oh no, it's pretty
I'm
easy.
just curious. I did something similar. I just want to know if we did it the same way.
So yes, there's these functions called like I forgot what actually they're called, but I think column functions. So I want to concatenate these two, highlight them, right click, and then I would go to new formula column and character, and then I would do concatenate with space, I think, and then it makes that new column for me right there um, that I kind of need.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. I did a very similar way. So yeah,
Uh,
uh,
yeah. So
relatively fast.
yeah, I'm curious on how you kind of went about your way. Um, but I think I can. You want to see how to make these real on grass clothes?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Sorry for deviating from the topic,
No, no,
but
no.
yeah, I want to see these drill down graphs.
See if I can remember how to do this actually. So let's see. Here is the actual Excel file that I have from that I downloaded from data.gov, and we're gonna import this into Jump. There's a few different ways you can do it. Easiest way is just go to File. Let's see, Open, and then I'll just find it on my desktop. Where are you? Desktop. And then I think is this one right here. Okay, so here is our file from. Let me move you on this side from data.gov. Now, to make that kind of graph within a graph thing, uh, what you need to kind of do is just make those individual graphs separately, and then we're gonna do a thing called copy to clipboard. So if I kind of pull up this finished graph I have right here, one graph I have is the entire map. The next graph I have is looking at number of cases and the name of the cases. And then the third graph I have is looking at the number of cases over the years for male and female in total. So it's like I want to make this graph, and then I want to put it within this graph, and I want to put those two graphs within this graph. So you only need to make each one of these graphs once, and then it kind of works out from there. So let's go ahead and make
Okay.
those.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to show like a? It doesn't have to be the exact same one, so that you don't have to do every step. But yeah, if you can just show me an example of how to do one drill down graph, that'd be great to see.
Okay, so let's make
Uh,
that map file again. So again, we'll call this the new county name thing. What is it called? Let's call this name, and then the values for this one are gonna be uh, so it'd be county, comma California, capital, and then I'm gonna fill this all the way down to the end of the table, and now I'll take that column and this column. Which actually, I think I gotta click it the other way around. I gotta click this one first and then this one. And then I'll do new formula column, character, concatenate with space. So now I have this Alameda County column here. So
nice.
now we're going to open up the graph builder. The first thing I'll do is throw this new column into this map shape file, and it makes the entire uh, state of
That's
California.
home. That's California
That's
for me.
that's California. And now what we'll do is I'll take this rate column, which is the amount of diseases there are. I'm going to toss that into color right here. And if this colors it correctly, actually, that's a terrible coloring. So let's see if we can fix that. Oh, I know. Right now, if you look at rate, it's a nominal, yeah,
Categorical.
categorical
Yeah.
data type. So we need to change this to continuous. So I can right click here and Oh, I can't do continuous real quick.
It's seeing it as a character, it looks like, instead of something that's numeric.
Okay, well that's
There
good.
must have been some text, so that's an easy fix.
Yeah, so if you go to column info, it's not character type, it is numeric, and it's not nominal, it's continuous, and we'll hit OK on that. And then hopefully, let's see, character types, conversions, change data type. Oh, I think because it has a bunch of dashes for a bunch of like non-answer.
Dashes, yeah, so seeing that as text instead of yeah, so
You know what we could do
we
is,
changed that.
let's see, did I hit change on that?
If you click
Yes.
OK,
Yeah.
there we go. Yeah, so now it's empty cells.
Okay, cool. And I think yeah, it's because we had 0 and then divided by, so 0 cases divided by the population, so I didn't know how to put that in the rate. Okay, so let's do a repeat on that. Now that rate is a continuous variable, I'll take this county, throw it under there. I'll take rate. Where are you? Right here. And I'll throw that into color. And so now we have that. What is it called? The first graph. Okay. Um. So now let's do another graph. So the next one is I want the cases and then the number of diseases, right? So again, open up Graph Builder and I'll take disease and I'll put that on the x-axis. So I have the disease right there, and then I'll take cases and I'll throw that into the y-axis right here. And I kind of want to see it as a bar chart, and then I'll also order this by counts descending. Okay. Now, so we're almost there, right? So we got the first two graphs that we kind of want on here. Now here's like the trick that you got to do to make this incepted into this graph right here. You got to go to this red triangle, and then you have this save script button right here. And then what we're gonna do is save this to a clipboard. Okay, so now it's on our clipboard. Now I'll take it over here, and what I'll do is I'll right click, and then if you go to hover labels, there's this option here that says paste graphlet. So if I paste that now, what's gonna happen is it's gonna take that original graph that I had, and now it's gonna put it into there. So now if I click on a
Okay, I see.
county, it'll pop that up.
It opens that one. So then I get it. So if you're going to do multiple, you essentially copy multiple scripts as hover label
Yeah,
graphlets. You save multiple scripts and then add them that way.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that's a neat trick. I've never actually done it that way before, so it is cool to see.
There's one thing I do want to know.
What
So,
were you going to say?
yeah, so since we had three graphs originally in that kind of original example, if you want to incept that third graph, you have to incept it into this one first, and then copy this and then paste it into here. So if you, for example, like if I highlight over this, I'll get this particular graph for this county. But now, if I highlight over this, it just gives me like the row information. It doesn't have that third graph in there.
Yeah, you would have had to incept it beforehand. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
so you have to put it in
Um,
here first before kind of going into there.
well, yeah, I've got to say, yeah, I'm impressed by this. I like this. Yeah, you showed really everything, how you went about it. And I'm glad that you went over the county name column so that I don't have to waste my time showing how to do it.
Thank you.
But yeah, I did. I did do the same thing. Do you want to see what I did?
Yeah.
I did it a bit differently. I didn't do the drill down graphs. I created a dashboard.
Sure. So let me stop sharing real quick, and then you go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and share that screen. Okay, are you seeing the table?
Yes. So I see your table now.
Okay, so yeah, you'll notice that I did create a county state column similar to yours, and I did use that feature, the concatenate with the space. Um, what I did, I'll show you the end product first, and then we'll go over quickly the step-by-step methodology of how to get here. But I created essentially a hierarchical filtered dashboard where I use images as filters. So to the right here, I have the sum of my cases by year. This is for each type of infectious disease. And then to the left here, I have the counts here for the different diseases. And what I can do is I can select any one of these counts. And what you'll notice is that the sum of cases by year is changing, as well as the number of cases by the California map by the state here.
Hmm.
So this is one type of filter. But then if I select any county in this map, what you'll see is that it adds a secondary filter. So now if we look at the case by year, we're looking at this coccidioidomycosis. I don't believe that's the way it's pronounced. I think this was the one you were calling cocoa
I
earlier
think so.
for Kern County, and I'm seeing here the cases by year for female, male, and the total of the two.
Okay.
Um,
So
and again, so
so
yeah, go
if you
ahead.
don't click the county, then it just shows all of California. But then if you're clicking the county, it specifies it based on
Yeah,
that county. Then.
yeah. So you'll see here it says some, and then once I select a county,
Okay. Okay.
it changes it to cases.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Um, and I could, unselect any of these. I don't know what I did there. I clicked on something. And then so for some of the data sets, we were missing values. It wasn't the cleanest data set, so sometimes we just have a total line, and it doesn't have that information for male or female. But yeah, do you want to know how I created something like
I
this?
do, but I also want to ask, like, how come
Okay.
in the very first graph in the graph fielder, the one with cases by the number the by the cases themselves, how come it's only showing a few instead of like that giant list where we had a bunch of lower ones?
Yeah. So we had so many diseases, and I was noticing I did a little cheat code here where I really just wanted to focus on the few important ones. I ended up hiding and excluding many rows of the lesser cases
Hmm.
to just focus on the ones that had the highest count. So I could touch base on how I went about that. But essentially, I created this graph here. I saved it as a script. And when I select any of these bars here, you'll notice that it'll select rows in the table.
Hmm.
So, for let's say Salmonella, you'll see that that's 3,449 rows. So what I did was I just highlighted the ones that had a very low count at the end.
Okay,
Um, and then from here, I just chose to hide and exclude them.
gotcha. So then they wouldn't
Um,
show up in any graphs and analysis.
yeah, it was just looking pretty busy, and I wanted it to be not as busy.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Um, yeah, that's a great question.
All right, so yeah, show me how you
So
made the dashboard then.
yeah, so I'll show you how I made the dashboard. I have three graphs open. So like you, I had to create the individual graphs first. So I had a bar plot, I had the map, and then I had the line overlaid chart here.
Hmm.
Um, in Jump, you could always go and create a new dashboard. And one of the options, one of the preset formats, is a hierarchical filter plus one dashboard, where the image you're going to put in the top row is going to be the main filter, and then you're going to have that secondary filter to the left bottom, and then the right is going to be the chart that's changing.
Gotcha.
So let's go ahead and select that. What I had was I had the bar chart as the primary filter, and then I had the map here as the secondary one, and then finally I had the line chart as the resulting graph. So pretty much just three drag and drops here. And when I'm happy with everything, I press the play button, um, and I could maximize this. I could resize this to make it a bit prettier. But that was pretty much what I did.
Okay.
Um, yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know this is quite different than your drill down method.
No, I like this one too because especially having the two filters because it is like you can look at one disease, it highlights the state, so you can kind of see where that disease is prominent. Because I'm guessing if if you click on the very first disease right there, right, the campy one,
Yeah, the first one.
so
Yeah.
we can see that it's a lot more prominent in Southern California. I'm wondering if there's other ones that are more prominent in Northern California, like if you clicked on shingleosis or one of the kind of lower number ones. Nope, Northern
Yeah,
California is
it's
still.
Yeah, it seems, I guess that, well, again, this is also sum. It's not the rate like you did.
Hmm.
I'm just doing
Okay,
it
okay.
based off the number of cases. And, if you're comparing, let's say, Los Angeles to San
Yeah, that's a
Francisco,
good
Los
point.
Angeles County has way more people. Um,
Yeah,
so,
that's a good
that
point.
might be a factor. So something, you would probably want to do here is, you'd probably want to change, instead of having cases as your Y, you'd probably want to put something like the rate here.
Mm, okay,
And then that might, well, actually, no, I'd want to put the rate for my map here. I'd want it to be colored by the rate. But, that's something that's easy to do. You could always just click on the red triangle, show the control panel, and drag, rate into that color role any way you see fit.
gotcha.
Um, and then, you get a completely new graph. And then if you're happy with it, you just click done. And now it's being colored by the rate percent instead of the sum of cases.
All right. Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
pretty slick.
it looks, yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'll take it. It looks like we're near the end of our allotted time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to thank you for, creating those drill down graphs in such a short amount of time. I just had way more time than you. And I gotta say, I think we ended on a tie. I think we went down two very valid paths. I think depending on the engineer or a scientist, they might want to go one or the other. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, I'm looking forward to see what data set you send me next time.
yeah. I'll find a good
Looking
one.
forward to that surprise.
It's maybe not as good as California disease, but I'll find another cool one that we might have on data.gov.
Yeah,
All right,
perfect.
cool, Clovis. Well, I'll talk to you later, man. You have a good day.
Okay, have a good